Today's video is actually the first video that I'm doing in a series on my personal routine of how I maintain and groom my beard. Stick around. Fellas, welcome back. It's Robert, your everyday gentleman. And like I said, today I'm starting off a series on my personal beard maintenance and care and grooming routine. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to take a quick moment and apologize for not uploading a video last week. My wife and I were actually out of town. We were in Vegas celebrating our anniversary, and I just wasn't able to get a video uploaded. But I'm back and I'm ready to go now. And with that, I'm ready to get this video started. Today's video is gonna be about how I line up my beard, get these lines as straight as I possibly can, keep my neck clean, keep my cheeks clean. Future videos will be how I style my beard and how I, trim the hair itself to keep it at this shape that I like to keep. I like to keep it a little heavier on my chin and a little thinner on the sides. As you can see, try to thin that out. But like I said, this is the first video. I hope you enjoy it. And with that, let's get started. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is get your tools ready. I like to use a straight razor. Straight razor for me, it just makes it easier to get a straight line. The regular razors that you get, you can't really see the blade too much, so it makes it a little more difficult. But these straight razors typically come like this. You'll see two separate parts that hold the blade, and then of course you need your two-sided blades. You can get a one-sided blade, but I usually buy these two-sided blades. They're easier to find. And what you do is you got to break this in half. So what I do is fold it in half one way, then flip it and fold it the other way, and then I flip it one more time and just keep bending it until it breaks. And what that does is it makes the end a little straighter so it doesn't get so curved. Makes it easier to mount onto the straight razor. Put the other half away, and then you take the straight razor, and there's these two little bumps that you'll see on the blade itself. And what you want to do is just line the razor blade up against those two little bumps. It'll hold it in place, and then the other part of the razor goes up on top, so you just want to carefully slide that on, make sure it fits well. And then I use the back of my nail to push it up against those two little bumps so it sits nicely, and then I close it up and it's ready to go. You also want to make sure that aside from your razor, you've got your shave gel, your towel, aftershave, everything you're going to need. So let's go. Now, starting with a clean face, I like to use Pacino's shave gel, mainly because it's a pure gel. It's a good quality gel, and I'll rub that into my face, put that under the hair and everything, let it work its magic with conditioning my face and getting ready for the blade to start running across my skin. So you just let that sit for a minute, and then you can get started with the actual shaving process. Now, the way I hold a straight blade is, you see I'll have my index and my middle finger on one side with my other two fingers on the other side of the handle, and then your thumb rests on this usually serrated edge at the bottom of the blade. And then you want to have the blade at an angle. You don't want it to be straight on, you want it to be at an angle when it's up against your skin, just to make sure you don't run a high risk of cutting your face when you're shaving. So make sure you're not straight up against the skin, that you're at an angle here. What you want to do is stretch the skin a bit, and then you just want to lightly, with very little pressure, just put that blade up against your skin, and then just let the blade do the work. Just run it down up against the line of your beard, and then just move the blade down your face until you get as straight of a line as possible. You can see that I'm not using the blade on my mustache. I'm mainly doing it on my cheeks. I do a different process for my mustache, and you'll see that in a little bit, but this is mainly what you do for the beard part. Now, I first start off with a downstroke with the grain, and then I'll take my hand and rub some of that shave gel that's on my beard back into my cheek. Then I'll flip the blade around, and then I'll start going against the grain. I know some people don't like this. I like to get as close of a shave as possible, and this doesn't really irritate my skin or anything, so you can try it if you like. Just be cautious if you're prone to ingrown hairs or razor bumps or anything like that. So you just continue with that process, going up, again, light pressure, and that's pretty much it for the cheek there. Now, it's pretty much the same process on the other side. You're going to hold the blade the same way, stretch your skin, and again, just lightly rub the blade, the edge of the blade, the cutting edge, up against your skin at an angle, and again, going with the grain down to line up the beard, getting pretty close to the bulk of the hair, but I don't really go up against it. I go closer actually when I'm going against the grain. That's what helps me get a little bit of a sharper line. But you can see I get a pretty sharp line just from doing this here. Straight shaving is pretty easy to do. And again, I'll just rub that shave gel back in. You can see the line is pretty straight, at least in my opinion. And this is why the towel is important. You want to make sure you wipe the blade, otherwise you're going to end up with some of the hair on there, and just, yeah, it makes it a little messier, not as neat. But again, I rub that gel back into my face, and then I start going up against the grain. I'll go up my sideburn a little bit just to clean that up. I don't get much hair growing too high on my cheek, but I do get a little bit of fuzz, so it gets rid of that. And again, I just take my time and get a nice straight line on my cheek, and that pretty much takes care of it. Now, it's essentially the same process when you're working on shaving your neck. You want to make sure that shave gel is pretty much still lubricated and ready for that blade. And again, you're going to take the blade and just stretch your skin a bit, and then start working the blade up against your skin, again letting the blade do all the work. It's a little bit different, or a little more difficult, I would say, on the neck, at least for me, when you're shaving it, just because it's harder to get a 30-degree angle, which is what's recommended for a straight blade. It's a little more perpendicular, so just be extra careful. Again, if you have a sharp blade, you don't need to apply much pressure. You just really just put the blade up against your skin and let the blade do all the work. And you may, at least in my experience, I got a little bit of irritation when I first started using the straight razor. But as you use it, as your skin gets accustomed to that actual blade's abrasiveness up against your skin, your skin starts to adjust. So it was a process, maybe about a couple weeks for me to really adjust, maybe about a month or so. But since then, you know, I really don't get much irritation. On my neck, you can see I go with the grain, and on my neck I don't go against the grain. I don't really feel the need to get too close of a shave on my neck. I think just showing that it's shaved and keeping it clean is enough to show a nice, well-trimmed beard. Now for my mustache, I don't really do any shaving. What I'll do is just keep the natural shape really that I have, and just pluck out some random stragglers. This makes it pretty easy because I don't have to do it as often, and so I'll just take a couple of those hairs out, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. You want to wipe that shave gel off your face. I typically shave before I shower, so I'll apply the aftershave. This Nivea Men is what I use, onto my face just to condition it a bit. And you know, after shaving it, like I said, you irritate your skin a bit just because the blade's running up against your face, so this helps to condition and moisturize your face after that. I'll let it sit for a bit, and then I'll jump in the shower and be ready to go. I don't like to shave after I shower because I don't want the fragrance from the aftershave onto my face, but I do want the benefits of it, so that's why I typically do it before I actually jump into the shower. You just work it into your skin, that takes care of it. Now I also wanted to show you guys what I do when I'm in a bit of a hurry. I like to use this Philips Norelco one blade. It's a pretty cool razor. I've been using this for about a year or so, and it just allows you, same thing, just like a straight razor. Of course, you're not going to get as close of a shave like you do with a straight razor, but it does let you get a pretty straight line. Again, you can see the edge of the blade, the cutting edge, so it lets you get nice and close to your beard without running too high of a risk of, you know, going too low or not going close enough to your beard where you have some shadowing of the hair coming out. But what I'll do is I'll just, you know, stretch my skin again so the hair pops out a little bit more, and then just run that blade up against the grain of the hair on my cheeks. I'll do the same thing on my neck, and I can do this really usually within a minute or two. It's super easy, super fast. So that one blade is a lifesaver whenever you're in a bit of a hurry and don't have time to, you know, do a full straight shave. It doesn't get as close of a shave, not as clean of a shave. Sometimes I have to reshave at night if I'm going out, let's say, but it does get you a pretty nice shave. So I definitely recommend this product if it's something that you're looking for. And here's the finished product. You can see it's pretty clean enough for me at least. Thanks for sticking around. If you made it this far, I hope you found some value in the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. Remember, this is the first in a series of videos that I'm doing for my personal beard routine. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. to make sure you don't miss any of the future videos in this series. And remember, being a gentleman is an everyday thing. Take it easy, fellas.